Hey you guys, how are you? My name is Imani and this is my channel. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. In today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you my top 5 things to do before you start your CFY. Now you may be asking, what is a CFY? And a CFY is a clinical fellowship year. It's basically another name for like a residency that doctors do once they finish in school. It's something that SLPs do so that they can get another year of supervision under a certified speech-language pathologist. If you want to know more about what to do to prepare for that CFY year, then you are in the right place. Also share this video with a friend who may be going through the same thing or may be interested, and I'll see you guys with the first tip. Okay, so for your CFY, you can choose whatever placement, whatever setting, wherever you want to work. It is a normal, regular job. And I like to say that because it can be a little bit confusing, as if the CFY is like an extension of an externship, something that you're placed into, but it's not. You are completely in control of it. You choose your job, you choose your supervisor, you make all your decisions. So, in your CFY year, the first thing that I just want to say before I get started is that it's different for everyone. Because you are able to go in and choose your job just like you would for any other job, you make your CFY your own. So my advice may be different than someone else's advice. My experiences are definitely going to be different than anyone else's, and that's just the way that it works. So I definitely recommend collecting information from different people. Don't use me as the authority because I may have done things differently, or I may have different interests than someone else that is in their CFY year. Okay, let's get started. So the first tip that I want to give you is to first reflect back on your clinical externships. Have a pen and paper out and maybe just start jotting down some of the things that you hated, some of the things that you loved, some of the points and areas that you were able to learn and grow in, and take that time to really think about where you want to be. I think the CFY is really cool and unique in that you can choose it. So you want to make sure that you're in a setting that's going to suit you and your needs, and where you kind of see your trajectory, there we go, your trajectory as an SLP going. So for example, if you know that you want to be a medical SLP, getting experience in your CFY in a school may not be the best choice for you, because you want to make sure that you can spend a year getting immersed in medical SLP. You may want to work in a skilled nursing facility or in an outpatient clinic, somewhere that's a little bit more suited towards that goal. So definitely take some time to think back about where you loved working, and I think that will help you make decisions moving forward. Okay, my second tip is to get your paperwork together. It's fairly easy. Basically, you want to make sure that you have your paperwork together so that when it is time to submit your paperwork, which says, I am going to be a clinical fellow at X place with X person as my supervisor, it's all together and it's ready to go. Now, your supervisor may be helping you in that process, and if you're with an agency or something, your agency does help you with those things, but you want to make sure that you are on top of this process as much as you can, because when it doesn't work out, it all falls on you. And it just makes the process flow so much easier, because once you send it off to ASHA, it will be put together and you'll know where everything is at and that it's finished. Y'all, I'm so sorry if things kind of shifted a little bit in here, but my camera just died in true YouTube fashion. So I'm back, and here is the third tip. Because your CFY is something that you can choose and really be meticulous about what you want and need at the time, I just recommend making sure that you have out what your needs are financially, what your needs are as far as lifestyle, and look for that in a position. Benefits are also huge. Like, who talks about benefits anymore? Nobody. I don't know why, because They're so important, and you want to make sure that you're finding and looking for positions that you can get as much benefits as you want at the time. That can include a 401k, that cannot include a 401k, but see what your options are for loan repayment and those types of things, because usually if you go into a position through the city that you live in, like for me, the Department of Education in New York City, or your state, working for the VA, things like that, those types of positions will give you a lot more benefits, including loan repayment benefits, especially as opposed to other private sectors and things like that. So look into those situations, because you can get started as early as your first few months out of graduate school on gaining those benefits, which is so important. So important. Okay, my fourth tip is to use your resources. When you graduate from college, you want to make sure that you're connecting to the alumni at your school, and also to any other offices in your school, maybe like a graduation office or alumni office, and see what other people have done with the degree that you've gotten. So if you have your SLP degree, and for example, so many other SLPs in your graduate program went on to work at X company, you want to see, like, okay, why is this the place that a lot of SLPs went to work, and can I continue to make connections through that one place? And now you can maybe go in and already have someone that you can network with. It's just really important to tap back into every contact that you've made, and hopefully these are people that you've kept up with along the years and along the past few months, people that you've been able to show your skills off to and build relationships with. And those people, they want to hear back from you. Like, please believe, these are people that know the training that you've gotten from your undergraduate or from your graduate program. These are people who can relate to similar experiences that you may have gone through in your program. So you already have that one up. Contact that person and get in where you fit in. Okay, also at the same time, SLP groups, if you don't feel comfortable, or maybe you had an extenuating circumstance, or whatever the case may be, SLP groups on Facebook, there are tons of SLPs on Instagram. Just start seeing where the SLPs are hanging out. I know that sounds weird, but it's true. Like, there definitely are communities within these social media apps that you can tap into to make sure that you know the newest job openings, or you can hit up a girl that you may have something in common with and then just start chit-chatting about where you may want to be. I think that just making sure that those connections are open is just a huge part of what everyone says about getting a job. Networking is number one, and if they know you, they're gonna want you, and if they personally know you, they can advocate for you. So tap back into those networks, girl, and see where the hot places to be are at. Yeah. My fifth tip is to get ready for anything. Y'all, I am going to make a separate video about this, but COVID and quarantining and everything that has happened within these past few months has been such a game changer for our career and our field, and every field. There's been so many people that have come together to make changes that we have never even seen or fathomed happening. And I think it's important I know that a pandemic is something that doesn't happen all the time, but you do really need to think that far out as far as different things that can impact your experience. One of the things that I learned in graduate school is to be flexible, and in your CFY experience before you get started, just constantly like continuously tell yourself that you're going to need to be flexible. You may need to take that position with the great benefits, but with the horrible supervisor. You may not have all the answers, you may not always have that one person that you can go to for answers, but being in a field like this, you learn the skill of flexibility. And I'm telling you, if you don't have it now, you're gonna get it. So just understand that things change and things happen, and as clinicians we just roll with it. I mean, think about what you would tell your clients in situations where things change. What would you tell, you know, your client who gets frustrated when things shift and they don't know when it's coming and they can't plan for it? You would tell them, okay, how can we learn to be more flexible? How can we learn to adapt to changes? That's exactly what we need to do as CFYs. It is a great practice. I think a great piece of advice that I got from one of my last supervisors was that I was going to have to take a lower salary in my CFY, and that was going to be okay, because the benefits are that when I finish my CFY, I really now have the opportunity to choose and pick, and I have even more choice. But when you're choosing your CFY, there may be different pros and cons that you really need to sift through, and in the end it may not end up being 50-50. It may still end up being 80-20, hopefully not, but maybe like 60-40, something that you need to compromise on, and that is okay. Just know that after 10 months or a year that you're gonna be finished, and you will be on the other side and look back and be like, wow, I did that. So guys, I really hope that this video was helpful for you if you're going into your CFY. If not, share this with a friend who is. Also, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel for more SLP videos in the very near future. I appreciate you guys, I love you guys, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.